Welcome everyone to our presentation. Today we're going to talk about the trade show we visited. The trade show is called Stainless Steel World and it was taking place in MEC in early December. On this trade show there were more than 280 global exhibitors who were taking part and that we were privileged enough to see. We got tickets from the MEC itself, which was very nice of them, and it was just a great day. And now we're going to talk a bit more about what we experienced there and which kind of sales techniques we saw.
First of all, I want to start with why we went there, why we chose this trade show. The main reasons were that it was here in Maastricht, so that's quite close for us, so it was just really easy and convenient. The second was that the date was really nice. It was not before exams, so it was really doable. And the main reason was because we had no knowledge of steel, and we were really intrigued to learn more about this steel.
Yeah, definitely. Well, before we went, of course, we first checked out the website to see what kind of trade show we were actually going to. And according to this website, on this trade show, there were more than 6,000 middle to higher management visitors. So this was kind of the target group of this whole trade show. One of the questions we had to answer was, does the layout of the trade show and the target group, are they connected with each other? Was it visible that this was the target group? According to us, that was certainly the case. We both never been to a trade show before, so we didn't really know what to expect. But it certainly wasn't this. It was, when we came in, it was so high class and high value. All the stands were, you could just see the amount of money that was put into developing them. So it was really clear that this wasn't just for everyday people, this was really for the more important managers of a company. So yeah, the connection between the layout and the target group was clearly visible.
Time flies by when the night is young. Daylight shines on an undisclosed location. Bloodshot eyes looking for the sun. Paradise delivered and we call it a vacation. You're painting me a dream that I wanna belong in. Over the hills and far away, a million miles from LA, just anywhere away with you. I know we've got to get away, someplace where no one knows our name. We'll find the start to something new. Just take me anywhere.
Okay, so like we just said, we didn't really have had an experience with a trade show, so therefore our expectation was like really low, didn't know what really to expect, so we expected just some simple stands with like a few posters and that was it, not really detailed or expensive.
No, just we kind of already set our minds to have a really boring day,
Yeah, exactly.
Just get it over with, just be there in an hour and then get out of it. Well, as I said, when we came in there, it was just so much prettier than we both ever expected. Like the stands, they were just so high value. They weren't even stands anymore. They were just like small buildings, all really well thought out with really bright colors, and it was really cool. And there was music playing, there were live bands, there were stands to get food, and like it was just in the beginning very overwhelming because like everyone was walking around in suits and we were clearly the youngest one there, so it was just kind of overwhelming to, okay, what now? But it was just, we had a really fun day. I think we spent like 3, maybe even more hours there and just have some drinks, talk with people, and everyone was really friendly and even though we were clearly students, they didn't mind talking to us. They were actually kind of like refreshed by us being there. So that was awesome.
I think that was the coolest part because the first moments I felt quite uncomfortable because everyone was wearing like expensive suits
Yeah.
and I was like, what am I doing here? But as soon as the people started talking to us, it really felt comfortable
Yeah.
to be there, and they were really trying to help us out.
Yeah,
Which was
and
really great.
when we had a break and we just were like drinking a cocktail or something, we said to each other like, yeah, I can see myself being here in a few years as an actual visitor, like an actual target group. So yeah, it was awesome just to picture ourselves in the future participating in something like this. So something we knew we were going to look at were sales techniques. We knew that was like a part of the task to check which kind of sales techniques work and which don't, and what kind of influence that had on the amount of visitors. Well, I'm going to talk about some good sales techniques we saw. Firstly, we noticed that the managers of the company weren't afraid to approach you when you just looked interested for a few seconds even. Like they immediately there was someone to talk to you about it, and that was just really great.
It was a really nice approach. It was not just like to say like, hey, where you're from, which company. It was really interesting, and they were interested in what we were doing, even though we were students and we couldn't make any deals with them. They were still interested in listening to
Yeah,
us.
exactly. And when we told them we are students, it wasn't, oh, okay, so not a paying customer, go away. It was really just, oh, okay, interested, and how do you find it here? It was very, it was very comfortable, everything. Secondly, well, it kind of goes hand in hand, but a warm welcome. It was just, there was always something to eat, some fresh baked goods, some cocktails even. There was really nice seating. It was just made very hospitable and comfortable, and you wanted to go to a stand just to chill and chat with each other. So that was a very good sales technique. Thirdly, not all stands, but the bigger stands we saw were also quite interactive. I think it was the biggest stand even, they had a car just displayed in their stand, and you could really sit in it, and it was just very also doing stuff, which is really nice. You could, with some stands, you could touch the steel they made, so it was very also hands-on, which was nice.
Also like TV screens where you could just like go on the internet and you would see their internet page, which was really nice.
Yeah,
so you
touch
could
screen
just
and stuff.
read it by yourself before asking like all the managers like, hey, what is this company about? You could do some research first.
Yeah, and lastly, it was very clear that they all knew what they were doing. There was a lot of knowledge there. They knew who their visitors were. They knew who their competitors were. One manager told us that everyone already knew each other from as competition. So they really used that to their benefit, which I think was a great thing.
However, there were some bad sales techniques. The funny thing was, the further away from the center, the sales technique became worse. For instance, people playing on their phone or just texting some people, which was just kind of rude when you walk past them. Secondly, just no or a little bit of decoration, just almost an empty stand with maybe 2 chairs in it, and that was it. So you didn't feel like really interested to go there to talk to them because it just didn't look right.
Okay, so for our assignment we had to visit a stand and talk to them and look at why this stand was interesting. For the stand we chose the company Acciai Speciali Terni, which is an Italian company, which you may not have heard from my incredible accent. This company has been around for 130 years in Italy and is in the top 4 biggest producers of steel, of stainless steel in Europe. We chose this company for one really big reason, and that was just their stand. It was just a phenomenal stand. It was very pretty. It was all made out of glass and light blue colors, so it had this kind of futuristic, very classy look. And it was also really interesting because this stand had stairs in it. So there were 2 floors. The first floor was kind of just for people to walk in, grab a bite, get a drink, talk to the managers kind of on a very standard level. And some people went up the stairs, and that was kind of to make deals, to talk more in depth about them working together. So that was very interesting. There was also the only stand that had 2 floors, and it was also kind of located in the middle, so that showed that this was one of the more expensive companies, the one more of the elite group, you can say.
One other thing we noticed that there was quite a lot of people working around there that worked there. We saw and we asked, there were 15 to 20 people just working from that company, and were ready to answer questions to everyone, which is I think quite a lot,
So
since it wasn't that big of a stand.
No, it
because
really
the 2
wasn't.
floors it was big, but.
and these people weren't only managers, but we also counted the barman, who was very friendly and answered a lot of questions for us. So it was just a lot of different occupations within those 20 people.
There was also one of the stands with quite a lot of promotional aids compared to other stands, because there were business cards, there were books which you could see, there were videos playing, there were samples with all kinds of colors of steel and all kinds of how it would feel like, etc. So that was quite interesting and really unique.
Yeah.
So while visiting the trade show, we talked to multiple exhibitioners to describe the quality of the standard contact moments. And right now we will describe the one from the Italian company that we spoke about before. First we will start with the appearance. They were really dressed well, really professional, just everyone in suits.
With approaching, we were standing there for I think maybe half a minute, just looking at the stand because we were very intrigued by it. And this manager came up to us, and he just was very nice, and he just started talking hey, can I help you with anything? Do you have any questions maybe? Because he noticed I'm looking intrigued. So yeah.
For the first questions, Doris said, he just asked hey, how's everything doing, can I help you? And then he continued with to get to know us, just what are you doing here, where are you from, which company, which country, and just really interested. So he was giving follow-up questions on the answers that we gave him, so that was really nice.
Yeah, because I think a question was that we had answered was he trying to look if we were who are VIPs, who were important customers. So he did kind of do it by asking us hey, he asked us actually from which company are you? So I'm not sure if he was aware that we were students in the beginning, but even when he found out that we were students, he did not leave or anything. He was just okay, can I help you with anything? So it was very nice.
He even introduced us to another colleague, our marketing manager.
Yeah.
Which was really nice, so we could ask even more questions to them.
Yeah, because we had quite a few questions about the stand itself and how that stand came into being, and he said, okay, don't know that much about it, but this is a guy who was the developer of the stand, so he introduced us to him, and we could ask all the questions we wanted to that guy.
So as a conclusion, we would say that we had a really nice day, and although we didn't really expect that, it was just really great. We spoke to some amazing people, we saw some great things, great stands, we had some nice drinks and nice food, so it was a really successful day.
Yeah, definitely, and we didn't only have fun, but we also learned quite a lot. For instance, as mentioned before, how important networking really is. It's just, I can't stretch it enough. It's so important if you, maybe even in the future, if we have our own business, it's incredibly important to know how to network and to spend a lot of time and money into it.
one other thing which is really important, what we saw there is making a first impression. We knew it was important, but also not that important. And it was just when we walked past stands and the first impression let us decide if we were going there or not. And it was
Yeah.
just not really on purpose, but it just happened.
Yeah, it shows how important it also is to put money into your stand, to really think about it, how you're gonna present yourself, and how you're gonna present that your company. Because in the first few seconds, we already made our decision of, is this company interesting, and are they a kind company? Is it nice to talk to them in just a few seconds, and just of the look of their stand? So that's incredibly important. And lastly, talk to people. I think that was just also a really big thing.
Talk
Just-
to people and be friendly, just be open and take your time for people, because you never know what they are and
Yeah.
what they can add to you.
Yeah, not only for the business side, but also to us,
Yeah.
because you also need to just go to people, and you can't imagine what kind of interesting conversations you might have.
Exactly.
Thank you very much for listening to our presentation, and we hope you've learned something.
And thank you once more for the organization, for the free tickets.
Yeah,
We really appreciate
that
that.
was amazing. Thank you.